Now, in today's lecture, we are dealing with the topic effect of cold working and annealing. If we go through the definition of cold working, that definition or the cold working is nothing but the process of working on metal or non-metal below their recrystallization temperature. Now, uh, before understanding the cold working, means we have to work on them below the recrystallization temperature. But what is crystallization? That we first understand. Recrystallization is also known as a fractional crystallization. Is a process purifying an impure compound in the solvent. This we are going to we are going to differentiate the metal from the solute that can be dissolved in the solvent. That is called as a recrystallization. Now, means it is a process of solidification basically. In this process, we are going to add a base metal and a pinch of metal which improves the property of that metal. That is called as a recrystallization. Now, in the various on the cold working results, the strain hardening, distortion, due to which the different properties of the metals are got increased, some got decreased. That we will see in the diagram over here. That there is a chart or graph, property versus degree of cold work. Property versus degree of cold work. Now, if we see, the what properties are got increased during the cold working and what properties are decreasing here. The four properties in the metal or non-metal got increased, like the electrical resistance, hardness, then internal stress and tensile strength. And some properties got decreased, that corrosion resistance and ductility. Okay, in this diagram, the hardness get increased from this point here and up to this point. Hardness increases, due to which process it increases, that we will see in the cold working. In the cold working, the work hardening is produced, due to which the metal get harder. Now, what is mean by hardness? It is defined as the resistance to any deformation is called as the hardness. This property get increased while cold working. Now, in the similar case, the tensile strain with the increase in the hardness, due to increase in the hardness, the tensile strain also get increased. As we know that what is tensile strength, and means resistance to tensile force is called as a tensile strength of the metal. Now, the effect of electrical resistance, the distortion of the crystal structure increases the electrical resistance after the cold working. Means due to this both properties, the internal stress also got increased, and the electrical resistance is this property is getting the metal. Now, but due to increase in the hardness, the ductility got decreased. What is ductility? Ductility is nothing but the property which is means The property of metal can drawn into the wire, or you may say that it is having the largest plasticity. It's called as, or plastic deformation. It's called as the ductility, and it got decreases due to the increase in the hardness. And again, the corrosion resistance is also happened, which reacts with the oxygen, and corrosion happen, due to which the corrosion resistance decreases with the cold working. Now, annealing consists of the heating of any metal at a specific temperature in a furnace for a specific time, and we have to control that temperature for that specific hour, and close that furnace for 24 hours, and after that we got the changes in the properties of this metal. You can see in the diagram, this diagram is bifurcated into the two parts. That first one is a degree of cold working, and second is annealing. Means while cold working, what happens? Hardness, tensile strength, internal stresses, and electrical resistance are got increased, and the ductility got decreased, and corrosion resistance also decreased. But due to annealing, if we see, there is not much changes in all these four properties that also be required for the metal: electrical resistance, internal stress, tensile strength, hardness, ductility, and corrosion is improved after the annealing process. Now, how it done? If we observe, or if we observe under the microscope, there is a changes in the property. That recovery area is there. In the recovery, what happens? The low temperature phenomenon associated with the relief of the internal stresses, means what are the internal stresses caused due to the cold working, that are released in the recovery, and this cause of appreciable change in the microstructure, means it changes its microstructure, what are very compact in the region, that are relief, or you can see the change under the microscope, that are change in microstructure. But due to the reduction in the distortion, internal stresses, the electrical resistance of the material also decreases, but not some change, not more changes is there. You can see the fourth one property is electrical resistance, that is slightly decreasing. It does not require, or it does not get more increase or more decrease in the form. So this annealing improves the main properties of the metal. After that, stress is released, and the grain growth, or you may say nucleation, happens in the recrystallization process. And lastly, while solidification, the grain growth is done. Now, what is grain growth? That we will see that it is a third stage of the annealing, and followed after the recrystallization. It is a phenomenon of heating of the material to the higher temperature to keep the annealing temperature for longer time, resulting in the grain growth. Grain growth implies the grain size, and equiax grains are formed during the recrystallization. When heated, starts to grow further and expands on their neighboring grains, and stick to each other, forms a grain bulky model. Means if this is nucleation process starts with this, the number of nuclei are developed over there and stick to single nuclei. That is called as a grain growth. It will look like this, right? And this type of process of the solidification is called as the grain growth, which is shown in the figure. As a result of during the grain growth, the small grain grown still smaller and finally absorbed by the larger grains, which grown still larger. Grain growth marked by reduction in the fine grains, and but these pores large form a grain growth, and finally generally it is used while the solidification process. Now, grain growth depend upon the factors that are nothing but the annealing temperature, the annealing time, Again, the rate of heating, alloy element, degree of cold work. All these factors affects the. Now we see in this lecture what is cold work. Cold work is nothing but work on metal or non-metal below their recrystallization temperature. In a similar way, the what we are going to study the hot working. Now, it is the reverse definition or opposite definition of the cold work, that cold working is defined as the process of working the metal above their recrystallization temperature is called as the recrystallization. Above their recrystallization temperature is called as the hot working. And due to the hot working or due to the working above the recrystallization temperature, the material structure undergoing the simultaneous working and recrystallization. Therefore, it can be appropriately said to that the hot working is equivalent to the combination of cold working and annealing. However, there are the certain structure differences between the cold working and hot working, such those are nothing but the rapid hot working just above the recrystallization temperature will give the distorted will give the distorted structure similar to that obtained after the cold working. Since the deformation during the working is greater at the surface than that the center, the surface will show fine recrystallization grain structure, while it will produce a coarse grain structure. So there may be question in the examination that differentiate in between the cold working and hot working. Thank you for listening my lecture.